Hello, everyone, and welcome to the English Story Nook. We are so glad you could join us today. Today, we're diving into a story about the surprising ways connections can begin. Get ready to discover how a shared space, a little bit of courage, and the magic of words can bring people together in a very special way. You'll experience a heartwarming tale that might just inspire you, too. Poems on the Coffee Cup. Kaylin loved the Al Nujum Cafe, not just for its rich, cardamom-spiced coffee, but for the quiet hum of late afternoon. It was his sanctuary, a place where the ephemeral worries of school exams were often dissolved by the aroma of roasting beans. He'd been coming here for months, always choosing the corner table by the window, his textbooks spread out, though his gaze often drifted. Recently, it drifted towards Lyra. Lyra, with her pensive expressions and the intricate henna patterns that sometimes adorned her hands, was a fellow regular. She usually sat across the room, equally absorbed in her books. Kaylin found himself wondering about the stories behind her quiet smiles. He felt a yearning to connect, but shyness held him back. What if he said the wrong thing? The fear of awkwardness was a powerful deterrent. He could have been just another face in the cafe to her forever. One Tuesday, fueled by an extra-strong coffee concoction and a surge of what he hoped was inspiration, Kaylin did something audacious. He scribbled a short 4-line verse on his paper coffee sleeve. A quiet corner, thoughts take flight. Across the room, a distant light. Words unspoken, yet I see. A shared moment, you and me. His heart hammered as he left it on his table, hoping it might be found by her when he was gone. It felt like a huge display of vulnerability. The next day, Kaylin approached his usual table with a mix of dread and anticipation. His sleeve was gone. In its place, on a fresh sleeve, was a reply, written in neat, eloquent script. Your words like stars, a subtle gleam, awaken me from a silent dream. This quiet space, now less alone, a seed of friendship has been sown. Kaylin's breath caught. The resonance of her words was immediate and profound. He hadn't expected such a direct and beautiful response to be given so quickly. Their tentative, poetic exchange continued for weeks. Each new poem was a small revelation, a carefully crafted glimpse into their thoughts. They wrote about the fleeting beauty of a sunset seen through the cafe window, the elusive nature of inspiration, and the nuance of unspoken feelings. Kaylin learned that Lyra loved old poetry and dreamed of traveling. Lyra discovered Kaylin's passion for astronomy and his unassuming kindness. He was quiet, never boasting about his knowledge, an unassuming presence that Lyra found comforting. Their poems became more articulate, exploring deeper themes. He often thought that if he hadn't been so audacious that first day, their current friendship might never have blossomed. One afternoon, Kaylin found Lyra already at his table. She smiled, a genuine, open smile that made his stomach flip. I thought, she began, her voice as soft as he'd imagined, we might contemplate these poems together, perhaps with actual coffee this time, not just the sleeves. Kaylin, feeling a warmth spread through him, nodded. I'd like that very much. He realized their written words had built a bridge, making this first spoken interaction feel less daunting. The implicit understanding between them had already been established. They talked for hours that day, the coffee growing cold beside them. The poems had been a start, a safe way to express the vulnerability that came with new connections. Lyra explained how his first poem had felt like a sign, a moment of pure serendipity in her otherwise predictable routine. Kaylin confessed his initial nervousness, how her eloquent replies had encouraged him. The resonance of their shared interests was undeniable. The ephemeral nature of the coffee cup poems had led to something more lasting. Their connection, initially tentative and expressed through subtle hints in verse, had blossomed. Lyra's pensive silences were now filled with shared laughter, and Kaelin found her thoughts even more intricate and fascinating than he had imagined. He learned to articulate his feelings more openly, moving beyond the fleeting courage of written words. The yearning he'd felt was replaced by a comfortable companionship. Their coffee concoction of choice became a shared pot of mint tea. The elusive dream of connection had become a tangible reality, a profound and welcome change in their quiet cafe afternoons. The implicit invitation in her sitting at his table had been clear. He was glad he had taken that first step, however small, to understand the nuance of her smile. He would often contemplate how different things might have been if he hadn't been so bold. It was a delightful piece of serendipity that had changed his cafe afternoons forever. That's the end of our story for today. We hope you enjoyed Poems on the Coffee Cup. What did you think? Have you ever done something a little brave to connect with someone, or has someone ever reached out to you in a surprising way? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you liked this story, please give the video a like. Remember to check the description box for some helpful resources to continue your practice. That's all for this story. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Keep practicing your English, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video at the English Story Nook. Goodbye for now.